What's up and welcome to the Active Amputee podcast. Everything people with a limb difference need to live an active and exciting lifestyle. I'm Björn Eser, the founder of and shaker and maker behind the Active Amputee. And today you're listening to episode number 46 already, and it's connecting straight to the previous episode. Today I want to share my takeaways from the January Walking Challenge 2024, and as you will see in a minute, there's a lot of ambient noise because this one was recorded while I was out walking on the 20th of January, so the sound quality is not that great, but you get a bit of ambient sound and genuine outdoor feeling for free. So lean back and enjoy. So here we go. Today is January 20th. That means I'm 20 days, so 2/3 into the January Walking Challenge. And I think by now I crossed the pivoting point at 16k and I'm now back to 12k per day. And my 5 main takeaways from this January's challenge are the following. On the one hand, up to 5k or maybe even 6k, I can do each and every day. There is no excuse not to do it. For me, 5k, that is 1 hour on flat ground or slightly hilly ground, and it's probably a bit more than an hour if it's a bit more up and downhill. It's probably a bit more if we have weather like this at the moment, so where it's icy, slippery, sometimes muddy. It's beautiful, and it has been beautiful for the last 3, 4, 5 days. More demanding, slower, but so much more rewarding than last year's challenge. So, lesson number 1. 5k, 1 hour of walking, no excuse not to do it. You can do that each and every day. The second takeaway for me is that, yes, if I know there's more than 5k to be done on that day, especially if I have a late start, if there's lots of other work, if I don't feel that well, or if the weather is really shit, it takes me quite a while to get going, so my motivation isn't the highest this year. But once I'm out, I really love it. So knowing that I just have to kick myself in the butt and just go outdoors, start walking. It takes about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'm into my zone and I'm just floating. It is so nice. So lesson number 2, yes, it might be hard to get going, but once you're outdoors, it's beautiful. At least that's how it is for me. Lesson number 3, it's perfectly fine to break up longer stretches. So the deal I have with myself is that until January 10th, so 10k, I have to walk in one stretch, so that it's not just 500 meters here and 500 meters there, but anything between January 10th and January 20th, I'm allowed to break up. So I can do 5k in the morning before the others even get up. That's really nice. So I have the first 5k in the bag, and that makes the rest of the day much more approachable and looks much more doable. So on the weekends, I probably still do my 12, 13, 14, 15 or more k in one go, but it's perfectly fine, and that's a deal I have with myself to break it up into chunks. I try not to do smaller chunks than 5k, except for if there's an emergency. Like yesterday, I was missing 1k, and then my little son was attacked by a dog. We had to go to the hospital, so obviously I was lacking 1k, and it just cracked that in just before midnight actually. But I guess that's not the rule, and that's just the exception. So don't be a slave to your rules, but try to have something which makes sense to you, which asks for a bit of discipline, and then get going with it. So takeaway number 4, it's just amazingly nice. It's just amazingly good for me. This year I have no problems with my lung. I've hardly any problems with my residual limb. I've hardly any problems with my back, and I just feel much more balanced. So all this sitting in front of a computer suddenly is like blown away, and I start this year with a really nice active month. So walking each and every day, yes, it takes time, but at the same time it really does me good. I feel much better. And then takeaway number 5, if you need a month to really test out stuff like a new socket, new gear, if you want to know what your stump does early in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, what it does when you try different creams or different powders, I think a month like this is really great because you can compare the different days. You really have something where you can look back at evidence-based testing and not a walkie in the morning and then a week later something in the afternoon, and then you forgot what felt how and when. So I think if you're working on something new, a new socket, if you try out new gear, if you want to try, like I do at the moment, different spikes and chains and girdles and kind of small, not yet crampons, but we're getting there. Yeah, something where you walk each and every day is just amazing. So these are my 5 takeaways. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new episodes. And I would really appreciate it if you leave me a rating on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you want to learn more about the Active Amputee, make sure to head over to www.theactiveamputee.org, where you find hundreds of articles from amputees for amputees. Articles filled with inspiration, information and encouragement to be active and live a rewarding life. I see you all again for the next episode. Until then, all the best. This is Bjorn from The Active Amputee.